Hello, boyos.
Hello, boyos.
This is the Loner Gamecast, where we discuss all things video games. My name is Nick. That over there is Jake. This week, we're going to be talking about Destruction All-Stars, that PlayStation game that they still haven't showed anything on, and I'm kind of interested in it. Also, Ubisoft is doing away with their Uplay thing and putting in a new Uplay thing, apparently. We'll read into that a little bit later. And there's more loot box shit going on in Canada. And we're going to be talking about ads in video games because that seems to be a thing that a lot of sports games have been doing to their shit. It's just putting ads in their shit.
Yes.
Yeah. Last week's question, we asked you guys, how can we improve the show? And a side note, does anyone still give a shit about Assassin's Creed? Nobody answered that second one, so I'm assuming nobody gives a shit about Assassin's Creed anymore.
No one cares.
Just completely fucked that off. But we did get a couple of answers. I'm going to paraphrase this from Cooking for Group. He says we should include little reviews to what we've been playing if the game is new. Give our own take on it kind of thing. And when we have slow news weeks and not a lot's going on, we should just give our opinions more often. And we can definitely start doing that. But at the end, he says, still enjoy the show, and I'll keep watching as long as you guys keep making it greater than, less than 3? Less than 3. Not greater than 3.
Less than 3. I want to say to that, I'd love to give more opinions. Like, if people want to write in questions in the comments just about any sort of video game stuff, like what's your favorite game, whatever, just put it in there. We put the question out there as just sort of a base question, but if you want to ask something else, feel free and we will answer it. Because or if you want to ask a question about some news that happened throughout the week and you just want to type in you're very curious about this thing, leave a question about it. We'll throw it in the show somewhere, Dudes
and dudettes, we only get 2, max 2 comments on our YouTube page. So if you want to talk to us, we will talk to you.
Before we move on, can I say something real quick? I just got a filling in my mouth, and I can't feel my face. So if you see me drooling during the show, here, this is me trying to kiss. So yeah, we're
that's me trying to kiss.
I feel like I had a stroke, although I'm sure it doesn't translate to camera, but I just thought I'd throw it out there.
All right, and then we got another thing from K-Rad Radio, and he just says, I love this. You know what, K-Rad Radio? We love you too. We appreciate your comment. We appreciate that you love what we do. We love what you do as well.
Yeah, I actually know K-Rad. It's Chris Radke is his name. And he's a cool dude. He does a lot of AZ-centric sort of interviews. He's interviewed local artists and I think he's even interviewed some politicians here and stuff. So cool guy, really cool guy. You should check out his channel. K-Rad Radio. Yeah. There you go.
Absolutely. He's in the comment of last week's video. So if you have trouble finding him, go there and you'll find him.
He's one of the two.
Yeah, he's one of the two. Like I said, write a comment. Even if it has nothing to do with video games, we'll probably talk about it. We need shit to talk about. Unless there's a crazy week, it's E3 or it's the video game awards.
Yeah, we love talking video games. Sometimes we just need a starting point, and you guys could give us that, or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
And,
we can keep.
We'll make it work without you fuckers.
What we're doing.
We'll make it work without you motherfuckers. But it'd be great if you'd help us.
And that brings us to what you've been playing, Jake.
Last week, I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't play too much. We played Age of Empires 3. We did a round of Age of Empires 2, actually.
We did.
And I played some Ghost of Tsushima, but honestly, that's it. It was kind of a weak week for me. a week for me, video
week
game
week?
wise. Yeah, I've just had personal stuff going on, so just kind of been doing that. But still played that stuff. Ghost of Tsushima Online is very fun. I wonder if they'll like continue releasing content for it or not. But yeah, I don't know. Age of Empires 3 classic. I just wish the games didn't go on so long. I see this on yours, what you've been playing. We played a game of Stellaris. That's another game that just goes on forever and ever and ever. It's a fun game. I think the combat's really lacking, but anyway, what you been playing, Nick?
Well, sticking on Stellaris, I think I don't quite understand how you can play a game kind of like that in more than one sitting. Like for us and our friends group, it's hard to get everybody to jump on at the same time and be like, "Hey, we're gonna play this game and we're gonna finish it." And
well, I think it's possible. We just have to be more deliberate about it. We did it with when we used to play Gloomhaven, which is a board game. You just have to be deliberate about it. Same with like a game like Civ 5. Like you have to do it like D&D. Like you're not gonna beat it in one day.
Yeah, that's it. I just feel like games like Stellaris and Civ don't really translate well to that kind of playing like that. Because what are you working towards? You're just working towards, the next thing. And with games like that, it's just kind of like,
isn't that every game? Every game you're working towards the next thing.
But like Gloomhaven, you have to set it up. You have to set it up, and there's like checkpoints. Is really what I'm saying. There's like checkpoints. Like, okay, we hit this checkpoint together.
What about D&D?
We can put this away.
What about like
that's the same sort of thing?
A D&D campaign.
D&D is like, okay, so our dungeon master has only written so much of this, the story or whatever, or we totally fucked him up, and we're doing a side tangent on this whole story that he has, and he hasn't really planned out anything far.
I'm thinking more
so
for like
we have
Civ.
to kind of stop.
For Civ, that's a thing too, where it's like, okay, I took over France. That seems like a good place to stop. We'll reconvene next week or whatever.
You took over France, but everybody else is like, hold on, I gotta do that one thing. I gotta do that. Okay, let me just do this one thing. Let me just do this one thing. And not everybody's on the same page.
I hear what you're saying, but
so it's like anywhere you stop is just not optimal stopping points. It's just it's like, okay, and then it's really hard to get back into games like that where you just kind of get thrown into the middle of a game rather than, okay, here's the next mission rather than.
The problem is, Nick, we just never get to that step. We just never get to the second playthrough because our biggest problem is we start a game with like me, you, and our friend Anthony, and then the next time we boot it up, we're like, let's play that game again. And then, our friend Patrick shows up and he wants to jump in and play with us, and we have to start a brand new one. And then we start a brand new one, and then our other friend Nick joins, and we have to start another one. That's our biggest problem. Our problem is that it's not a board game where we're like very deliberate on who comes. We're playing it on Discord, so everyone sees we're playing it, and they're like, hey, I want to play too. That's our biggest problem.
What are you guys doing? Can you guys go to slot for one?
Yeah.
I guess, man. I guess. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. We don't have like a set group to do that stuff. Other than that, I've been playing Age of Empires 3. We played that one game of Age of Empires 2. I like Age of Empires 3 better. I like the shipment stuff, man. I do wish that with this definitive edition they increased the amount of like units you can have on the field, because I feel like 250 to 300 would be perfect for a game like that.
I like Age of Empires 3 for a few reasons. I like Age of Empires 3 over Age of Empires 2 is because the walls are easier to take out in 3 than 2, and walls become a huge issue in 2. I like 3 for the card setup. I like that a lot. But 2, I feel like is just overall, besides the wall issue, a better game.
I like the only, there's a couple of things that I have to say about that. I don't like the fact that there are no ways to get coin or gold. Like stone and gold are two different things, whereas in Age of Empires 3 you have one thing and it's just gold. You have gold, food, wood.
Yeah.
And you can make a farm for food and you can make a estate for gold. And those two things are just infinite and you never run out of those, which I kind of like. Whereas in Age of Empires 2 there's 4 different things and you can run out of all of them except for food. And I don't know. The games seem to go on a little bit longer, or at least make it easier for somebody who doesn't start with a whole lot around them to last longer. But yeah, I like Age of Empires 3. It does have a couple of issues, but it's good. What else we got? Oh yeah, I've been playing Pokemon Crown Tundra DLC. It's fine. They added the coolest thing that they've added in this one is they added some sort of like procedurally generated Gigantamax battles. You remember those? You played the game a little bit with the big ass Pokemon, and you'd go into their dens and you'd have to like team up with 3 other people. Well, now it's like a tier. Like you start. There's like 5 different Pokemon that you have to beat in their Gigantamax form, and once you get to the end one is like a legendary creature, a legendary Pokemon that you can capture, and that's kind of cool. That's probably the coolest thing. It seems to be lacking a story. Like I got there and it's like this dad who's like, "Hey, come on, daughter, come with me on an adventure with your old pops." And she's like, "No, you're gross. You're an old man." And then you meet up with her again, and she's like, "Hey, I have an idea. Why don't you go on the adventure with my dad, and I can go on my own adventure?" And it's like that. I think that's not the point of the whole. Okay. And then he's like, "Hey, instead of going on adventure with me, you're gonna go on adventure by yourself, and then call me about it." And I was like, "This is kind of stupid."
Yeah, can we just talk about how irresponsible the parents are in Pokemon to just allow their 10-year-old child, who I wouldn't even allow at the house, like I wouldn't leave my 10-year-old child at the house alone, let alone, go out in the wilderness catching Pokemon that set things on fire and this is the problem with America. This is how sex trafficking happens, because parents are letting their are letting their children go out hunt Pokemon, okay? And this is the problem with America.
This isn't Corey's podcast. This isn't Jake and Corey podcast.
I know. I'm fucking around. I'm kidding. It's a joke.
Okay. I mean, yes, they're irresponsible.
Pokemon is in Japan anyway, so.
But you know what I think? It's this kid is a problem child, and I don't want to deal with him anymore. Why don't you just go out there and try to survive on your own?
What? Like, do these kids not go to school? Like, is there no school?
No, it's Pokemon school. Everybody wants to be a Pokemon.
They're all just so smart that they finish school at 10? I don't know.
I don't know.
Like, is Team Rocket really just a Jeffrey Epstein sort of sex trafficking ring? Trying to collect children?
Pokemon?
No, trying to get the kids, the 10-year-olds.
They're not collecting kids. They're collecting the kids' Pokemon because they're kids' Pokemon.
The way James looks at Ash.
Well, I have nothing to say about that. I feel Pokemon's weird. I'm ready for Temtem to come out because I need like a more adult Pokemon, I suppose.
Yeah.
I feel like
Persona,
this Pokemon. Dog. Well, I did. It's too long. That's all I gotta say.
Adults like long things.
Well, most of them. Is that your long thing?
That's my long thing.
Okay.
Adults like long things.
Long things about the size of a hot dog. Yeah, I don't know. Pokemon Sword and Shield seems to be like a transition Pokemon. Like they've got some ideas going around in this game that don't quite make it, but I feel like if they took some of the ideas that they have from this game that worked really well and put it in the next game, their next game could be really good. And that's about it. That's about all I've been playing. Anything you want to add before we go to the news?
Yeah. In events,
Okay.
there was a like a PlayStation State of Play, I think, that happened, and it was like just about Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, I didn't watch it.
Nick didn't watch it. I'm not going to cover it too much here, because hold on, I gotta pop up. That's been time. That's so
it was
fair.
a State of Play though.
I'm pretty sure it was a State of Play, and they showed off a Spider Cat, and I won't say much more than that. Looks cool. Looks dope. Spider-Man. Also in
Spider-Man.
events,
Day one.
there was a live stream with Alexandria. Okay, how do you say her name?
No idea.
AOC. Alexandria Cortez. Let's
You got
just
it.
Ocasio Cortez. That's it. She played a game of Among Us, and the reason I want to bring this up, because this has to do with Twitch. She streamed on Twitch. If you don't know who AOC is a U.S. representative, and along with Ilhan Omar, also playing Among Us on Twitch with a bunch of Twitch streamers. The reason I think this is noteworthy is because what does this mean for the future of Twitch? Like Bernie Sanders, Donald Trump, these guys, I think even Biden, these guys have a presence on Twitch, but it's mainly just like clips and like, live streams of their events. And like that's what they're doing on Twitch. But then like seeing AOC and Ilhan Omar like just fucking getting on Twitch and playing a game and talking to the American people, it just made them, at least in my opinion, and I'm sure a lot of people our age, millennials, Gen Z, more relatable. And I know this isn't a politics show, but it is about video games, so it's kind of threading that line. I just think it's like an interesting concept that these politicians will have it's like a new platform for like politicians to talk about their positions while playing a video game. Like, how long until we see like AOC playing Doom and being like,
I don't know about
fucking kill the demons?
I don't know about that. That seems a little.
I don't know, dude.
Among Us is so easy to play. Like Among Us, Minecraft.
True.
I guess Fortnite. It's just so easy to play and talk about what you want to talk about rather than,
Don't you agree though that it makes a politician a bit more relatable? Because you're like, these people make jokes like we do. Ilhan Omar tweeted and said poggers. Like this person, like these are people, and like normally we think of politicians, we don't think of them as people, and this is like a whole new avenue. And my worry is they could potentially ruin Twitch. They could make it very corporate, which would be lame.
They could. Yeah, I know that.
But I'd love to see Bernie Sanders just, tear up demons and
the
do
60% of the 78% of 3 people of 84.
Hold on, story time. He gets a cutscene.
yeah, I gotcha. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I really wanna get into the story on this. I'll be right back. We'll be talking about.
We do that like in party chat. We'll be in party chat playing single players together, and we'll be like, "Hold on, it's story time." And like when a cutscene happens, I could just imagine like
guys, I'm gonna mute myself. It's story time.
Joe Biden, okay. He's like, "Okay, so the 60% of the 30%."
That's not Joe Biden.
Yeah, whatever.
Bernie Sanders.
Joe Biden. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal. Hold on. Story time. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I think it makes them more relatable. But like I was saying, like Among Us is so easy to play and talk about something other than the game.
True, but like the thing was they weren't even like really talking about politics at all. They were just playing the game, having a good time. It was interesting. Huh. And then she would shout out like, you guys should go vote or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. It kind of brings
humanizes them a little.
It feels like voting back in the day, or like at least politics back when we were growing up in, high school or whatever. It seemed like a thing for old people, just like, oh yeah, well that's that's for old people to deal with. But by bringing like politics and political figures into Twitch, YouTube, video game avenue, it kind of pulls back that age limit. You kind of get the little kids going, oh, maybe this is something that I should look forward to. I should look forward to voting. I should think about voting and see who it is that I actually agree with and who I actually like. Bringing, making the age limit a little bit younger. I think that's a good thing. Yeah. But also it could ruin Twitch and bring more.
But yeah, I mean, especially in the time of coronavirus, where you're not really supposed to do like big rallies. Trump would disagree, and Biden is doing them in cars, so you get the people honking, which is kind of annoying.
Well, they did that with Tesla too. Tesla did the whole like some sort of reveal, and everybody drove up in their emissions-free cars and just fucking honked and shit.
But I could see a future where, like getting donations and stuff, you go to the website, give the donations. Oh. Maybe instead we go on Twitch and we're like, hey, we're doing a live stream. All the donations go to my campaign. And I'm just gonna, play, I don't know, the Jedi game.
Okay.
Star Wars game or whatever.
All right, so what is the voting age here? It's 16, right?
What?
You have to be 16 to vote?
You have to be 18, dog.
Is it 18?
It's 18.
Fuck that, dude. That sucks.
18. Did you vote at 16, Nick?
I voted at 16, yeah. Don't worry about it.
That's voter fraud, dog.
Yeah, no, I was just going to spring up, like, what if, like, Ninja went running? But like all of his fan base are like 8-year-old, 10-year-old kids.
Well, they'll be 18 anyway. One day.
But all of those kids could donate to his campaign for running for, like, hey guys, it's critical, and I'm gonna be
hey guys, it's critical.
I'm gonna be running for president here coming up, and could you really use your support? All of the donations go to my campaign, and then he gets all of his followers to like donate $5 or whatever.
I don't see like streamers becoming politicians. I just see politicians potentially becoming streamers.
Yeah, I could see that. But that kind of it's a far-fetched idea for like later down the road when we have, well, I mean, we've already had like Arnold Schwarzenegger as governor of California, so
we already had Ronald Reagan as our president.
So I mean,
we had Donald Trump as our president.
You could have personalities. We're kind of bridging that gap between personalities and politicians at this point.
It's almost a little dangerous. But
yeah. Back to the Spider-Man thing. Spider-Man looks fucking great. I am keeping my ears closed and my eyes closed on the whole game because it's going to be a day one purchase, and I want to be surprised with all the bullshit that they have to put in there. And we probably won't be reporting on it until it is out.
True.
So if you are looking forward to, I don't know, news of it, probably find your stuff elsewhere unless something huge is leaked, and I will walk out of the room
like
or
a
something.
spider cat.
Yeah, well, that was on Reddit, and I accidentally saw it. So,
but there's a spider cat.
It's a spider cat, and the cat has a fucking little a Spider-Man mask. It's fucking adorable. I gotta say, okay, we'll go to the news. That's our transition. The news. That's it. It's that fucking cheap. First piece of news. One of the few next-gen exclusives, PlayStation 5's Destruction All-Stars, has been delayed into 2021. This comes from Chris Carter at Destructoid. You know this game, right? Because I talk about it all the time. It's
I
like
do. Yeah.
it's like a Rocket League mixed with Twisted Metal mixed with like Fortnite characters.
It's the game that when they showed off the UI, those were the characters. Like, and they're like, we're gonna skip past this
gameplay. We're not gonna show the game.
We're not gonna like show you. You don't want to see this game.
This game isn't finished.
And
yet,
then it showed like a still frame of them too, and they're like standing there, but they're hovering, they're floating. Yeah. And the characters are just floating. Like,
maybe the game's just not done yet, and that's why they pushed it back.
It's definitely busted. It looks bad, and it looked bad from day one. And I don't know if delaying it's going to be is going to fix it. And then also them going free to play is very telling.
Well, let's get into this. Let's get into this.
Sorry,
story. No, that's fine.
Jumped the gun there a little.
All right, so I don't know when this was posted. I think it was today, actually. Today, Sony director of product development Pete Smith broke the news that Destruction All-Stars would indeed be missing the next-gen launch and has been pushed back to February 2021. There is good news, though. When it does arrive, it'll be a PlayStation Plus title, and as such, is one of the first ever confirmed PS5 Plus perks. Smith notes that there will be more news for the game next week, which is great, as we know very little about it. He also confirms that if you already pre-ordered it, you will be refunded, whether it's digitally or at retail.
Oh, so it's not free. It's a PS Plus game.
It's not a free to play game. Yeah, because I wanted to stop you before you said free to play.
Okay.
Because it is, if you buy it after the fact, I believe it's still a $70 game or $60 game or whatever they're selling it at. But for February and March, I believe, for 2 months, it's going to be a PlayStation Plus game, which is great news because the game looks like a Rocket League type. So I was having a hard time going, am I going to put $70 down on a game that my friends may not want to play or may not want to put $70 down on? And that, I think, could kill the player base because we haven't seen a lot of it. We haven't seen any of it, honestly. And
bro, this seems
putting it on PlayStation Plus is like the right way to do it if you are having like a multiplayer arena game, you know?
Yeah, this seems like the move. If you're making a multiplayer game, like try and get a fucking deal with PlayStation, man. Try and get a fucking PlayStation Plus deal, because you look at Rocket League, you look at that other one, Fall Guys. Like these games became huge. Yeah, that seems to be the move, and I think Sony is banking on that happening. I don't have high hopes for this game though, at all. I
really want to.
I also take issue with them saying, where is it? Missing the next gen launch. Doesn't it say like the small launch lineup is even smaller now? Doesn't it say that?
The news that it's the first thing. One of the few next gen exclusives.
Okay, one of the few next gen exclusives. I don't know, dog. I mean, we got Spider-Man and Demon Souls. But it's next gen exclusive. I don't believe Destruction All-Stars is going to be on the PlayStation 4. Oh,
I don't believe. I have not heard. I cannot confirm nor deny.
It does say next gen exclusives.
So I'm thinking.
But then you think of like the next gen lineup. You know, we've got Ratchet and Clank coming. It's like, the thing is, this is how it always is. There's never games for the PS5 or PS4 last time, like for the next gen. There's never games.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there's no games for the Xbox this gen, like this next gen coming up. There's no games.
So I want to put this out there as well. The fact that they're making and you know, this is a PlayStation published game. Does this give you hope that Factions will potentially be a free PS Plus game?
Oh my
when
god!
It launches?
Yes, sure, yes.
Give it to me
at launch. At launch, that would be an interesting. I'd say December. I don't think it would come out November. because November's already halfway over by the time the PlayStation comes out.
Yeah.
But December for sure, unless they do the things that they sometimes do, where they put out like an additional game. They're like, hey, halfway through this month, here's an additional game, and
or that's
to
one of the
those
PS Plus
actions.
games, and like since it launches like halfway through November, it just goes till December, and that's just like the PS Plus game for November and December, and whatever the other PS Plus game is, because I imagine they'll do 2 PS5 games a month, just
the way that they're doing it right now.
PS4.
Yeah. Do you think that the PlayStation 5 games are going to be the same as the PlayStation 4 games for PlayStation Plus?
That's a good question. Maybe they'll do 2 PS4 games and a 1 PS5 game. I think at some point, down the line, maybe a year from now, they have to go up to 2.
Right. But I'm saying it like first when games are still coming out for both consoles, because we don't have next gen exclusives, So it's just kind of interesting what they're gonna end up doing with that.
Yeah, I don't know, but
maybe they won't even have PlayStation Plus for the first, for the end of 2020, because they have the PlayStation Plus exclusive lineup thing, whatever it's called, PlayStation Plus collection.
Oh, that'd actually be kind of a bummer.
It would be, at least for us who have played most of those games.
Yeah. No, yeah, I own like all of those games.
Yeah.
Anyway, something to think about. Something to
probably not going to happen, but who knows? What do you guys think? What do you guys out there think?
What do you think?
What do you think?
Subscribe.
Let's get the comments rolling. Come on.
The bell. What are you doing?
The little thing right there. The little bell. Yeah, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dog, kiss your dog.
Let me be your dog.
Let the boy be your dog.
That's such an inside SNL joke. That's such an obscure SNL joke.
All right, we'll move on to the next piece of news. We got Ubisoft announces Ubisoft Connect and retires Uplay. So let me tell you a little bit about it before we go into it. Ubisoft Connect will be the new universal home for all Ubisoft in-game services, activities, and communities on all platforms. Everything you've used Uplay and Ubisoft Club for in the past will be refreshed, expanded, and merged into Ubisoft Connect starting October 29th, which coincides with the launch of Watch Dogs Legion. I do have to say this was a press release, so that's why it sounds very, proper and like...
Yes,
and probably
quite
refreshed, expanded, and merged into Ubisoft Connect starting October. Yeah, so the wording is very advertising. It continues. The Ubisoft Connect interface will be integrated seamlessly. There's another one into Ubisoft games on all platforms, beginning bringing social features, in-game rewards, and challenges and activities to all in one place. In addition to all the functionality of Uplay and Ubisoft Club, Ubisoft Connect brings brand new features like dedicated news feeds to check out friends' activities and achievements. For those looking for tips on how to improve at Rainbow Six Siege or how to recruit a beekeeper in Watch Dogs Legion, the new Smart Intel feature brings personalized tips and video recommendations based on your current gen activities. You'll also be able to access personalized stats, playstyles, information so that you can monitor your progress or compare with friends throughout the new leaderboard system. This comes from techpowerup.com. It was a conference though.
So it sounds like they just renamed Uplay.
Yeah.
Which fine. Uplay is awful.
It's horrible. It's so bad.
But that new Smart Intel thing sounds exactly like that PlayStation feature, does it not?
It does, doesn't it?
It sounds exactly like that PlayStation feature that they just announced. And Ubisoft is like, no, we've got our own feature in the game.
The game to slow your game down like all lots,
Oh,
so
yeah,
that you
dude.
have to connect to our shitty services and connect to your internet.
That's the
and it'll
worst part of
just-
Ubisoft Club and Uplay.
God.
It's so slow and buggy.
It's the
So
slowest.
hopefully they can like fix that at least, which I'm sure they will. But yeah, smart intel.
You know, you would think that, but they haven't fixed that in like as long as Uplay's been around.
Yeah.
Uplay, every time you open Uplay on, I don't know, Far Cry or whatever, to redeem their rewards, because
I'm just hoping that them renaming it is them like, okay, we're giving it a second go and we're like doing it for real. Like it's gonna be good this time. We've got the SSDs now. The SSDs, you know?
the SSDs, but it just still doesn't matter if our servers are shit.
Yeah.
You know, like, cool, the SSDs, but now you have to connect to our shitty, slow servers that nobody maintains.
Yeah, the most striking thing to me is that smart intel thing, which sounds exactly like that PS4 feature that they talked about at the UI showcase thing that they did a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, so I read through the entire press conference. This is only a snippet because I didn't want to bore you guys about all their fucking advertising bullshits. But it sounds to be Uplay again.
Yeah,
that's it. Nothing new. They're just it just
smart
seems to be a rebrand.
Which smart intel, like I don't understand this like smart intel and like the PlayStation feature where it's like give me tips or whatever. I don't understand it because it's like I have a phone, dude. Like
yeah.
And like everyone has a phone, you know? It's not like people who I'm assuming if you have a PS5, you probably have a phone.
Even if it doesn't
computer.
Work, even if it's not a phone, you probably can still connect to Wi-Fi and go, how do I do this? You know?
Yeah, in some way, be it a tablet or a computer, and you're going to get more valuable tips than whatever fucking tips PlayStation is going to give you, or whatever fucking tips Ubisoft is going to give you. It's going to be way better laid out by some guy who made a fucking trophy guide and spent way too long making them.
Yeah, you know what I think this is going to be like? It's going to be like that news feed section in the PlayStation 4 home
that
screen
no one uses,
that nobody looks at. They're like, occasionally there'll be like a banner that comes across and it's like, oh, your friend platinum this, and you're like, good job, that friend. And you don't do anything about it. It's just like
sometimes
it's gonna be like that.
Sometimes I get like a trophy in a game and one of our friends will like heart it because you can do that, and I'm like, wait, that's a thing. That's I always forget that that's like a thing.
Yeah, it's strange, dude. The Ubisoft is so out of touch, it seems.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, yeah, it comes out. What did it say? October 29th.
If they can make Ubisoft Connect run better so I can get those challenges from Siege without like my entire system about to break down every time I open it just to get some fucking challenges.
or before the game starts.
Yeah.
You know, if I can, you know, search for a game and also open Ubiplay or Ubisoft Connect before I die in the game to accept the challenges, like, yeah, absolutely. If it's at least better than that, you're heading in the right direction, Ubisoft.
I'm hopeful that it will at least run better than Ubisoft Play.
That's about it. That's about it. I got. Let's move on. This one, EA's being sued in Canada over loot boxes again. That's
cool.
Yeah, they're also being sued in California for loot boxes.
When does EA just like go out of business?
Well, they won't. They're all backed up by, you know, $1 million.
But these are also like the companies that like end up getting lost in the sauce. You know, like EA's like big, it's big. It reminds me like Fox, right? Fox is like the biggest. Like the only bigger company than Fox is Disney. And then out of nowhere, like Fox keeps making mistake after mistake. They make a horrible Fantastic Four. They make a horrible, you know, Spider-Man. You know, they just keep their
whoa.
Oh, that's Sony. Whoa. Sorry, they make a horrible X-Men.
There you go.
They keep fucking it up, and then out of nowhere, they're like, okay, we're selling the company because we've been fucking it up so long. I feel like EA is gonna hit that point eventually, right? Where they're like,
they have to.
Where because I don't know, like I guess they have the sports games, but like how many people still buy those? I guess it's always in the
A
always in the
lot.
top in
It's
the
always
MPD.
in the top. Yeah, it's always in the top. However, um, I'm not sure if it was a 2K game, but the FIFA. No, that's EA, isn't it? The FIFA.
Yeah, yeah,
That game's really under fire because it's just a copy pasted of like a year prior, is what I hear. The newest one,
yeah.
FIFA.
21.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe we'll see Microsoft pick up EA, or maybe we'll see Sony pick up EA, like
Or at
the way.
least
But
at least EA gets like knocked down a few pegs, so they're like humbled and they have to like rebuild themselves and like have to
yeah,
like because that could happen too, where they're just like, okay, we're not the top dogs anymore, and we have to like rebuild trust. And we've seen that happen with like Ubisoft before, where
yeah,
like Ubisoft was the top dog, things kind of hit the fan, they've had to rebuild trust. Kind of happening again with
it's
Ubisoft.
happening again. Yeah, with all the allegations and shit coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's I'm hoping, and I was hoping when like Battlefront and Battlefront 2 came out, it was like, oh man, Disney's not gonna like this because they fucking ruined Star Wars, and they still have Star Wars. So
Well, that deal ends in like 2 years. So we'll see what happens.
yeah, yeah, fingers crossed that somebody else gets it because
I
EA's
hope I
dumb.
hope Disney in the future, what they do with Star Wars is what they do with Marvel right now. And they're like, okay, Square Enix, you're gonna make that shitty
Mhm.
Avengers game, and Capcom, you're gonna make Marvel Ultimate Alliance and Marvel vs. Capcom. Blah blah blah. You're gonna make this. Like, I hope they do that with Star Wars, where it's like EA, you can still make the next Jedi Fallen Order, but then we're also gonna go to Sony to make whatever
We're gonna go to a racing game to make Pod Racer, racing
yeah.
developer to make Pod Racer. We're gonna go to the guys who make Ace Combat to do the spaceship combat. That would be so much better.
Honestly, they should just rebuild LucasArts.
LucasArts. Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree.
Bring back the guy who made Psychonauts, whose name is escaping me right now.
I mean, he's doing Psychonauts too.
Who made?
Oh, I can't remember his name either.
Not Jack Black.
No, but he is doing the music apparently.
Doing a song.
A song. Whatever.
Double Fine, which is
what is his name? I know who you're talking about.
Double Fine.
What is your point?
Tim Schafer.
Yeah. What is your point with Tim Schafer?
There is no point. He just used to work at LucasArts. That's it.
Bring him back. Bring him back.
He made Grim Fandango. I don't know what to tell you. I just wanted to remember his name. Tim Schafer. He made Grim Fandango. He worked at LucasArts. Bring him back. Make Pod Racer.
Make that 1313 game that never came out.
Where are we? What's happening? What
year is it? Are we in 2021 yet?
Why is everything purple? What's happening?
That fucking anesthetic has got you fucking loopy. We got our last piece of news comes from the NBA 2K21 Twitter, actually.
From one shady company to the next.
From one shady company to the next. It seems that these shady companies are getting a lot of press for all the bad shit that they're doing. Anyway, finally. 2K responds to unskippable ads in 2K21. Before I get to the response of this, did you see any of these unskippable ads?
Yeah. The same thing happened in EA. EA did the same shit with their UFC. They did the same fucking thing.
Yeah, so it would be during the pregame as it was loading like your game, and you know how usually like in old school it would like fly over like the teams. The camera would fly over the teams or the cheerleaders getting ready. Instead, it's like a cut to a full screen ad, probably about that big, taking up the space between my fingers. And it would just be the thing was like for the Oculus 2 or something like that, and it would just play for like 30 seconds. You can't skip it, you can't do nothing. You just have to sit and wait for this ad to be over, and then you can play your game. So they responded with this was a tweet that they did. It was like a photo. It said, as many are aware, in recent years, ads have been integrated into 2K TV segments. Never should have happened. Yesterday's 2K TV ad placement impacted our players' experience in a way we didn't intend. You fucking liars. As these ads are not meant to run as part of the pre-game introduction, then why'd you put them there? This will be fixed in future episodes. Thanks for your continued feedback. NBA 2K Twitter. Scummy. Fucking scummy. Like, could you imagine if you were playing, I don't know, what's a, like, I guess you don't really play any games kind of like that, but like a Call of Duty game where they're like, buy this gun before the map loads in, you know, like,
drink milk.
I mean, product placement is one thing. You have Death Stranding, who put like all of the monster energy and
riding with Norman Reedus.
Yeah, Norman Reedus, but like, sure, have all of the characters wear Nike or use Sony phones, or all characters are using iPhones. Fine, whatever. It's kind of funny where you're just kind of like, man, I could use a drink, and then the character eats like or drinks a Red Bull. You know, and you're like, wow, that is terribly unhealthy for what you're doing. But to stop the gaming experience and just right in your face as it's loading, instead of putting you into the game, it takes you out of the game, and it's I would return that game immediately.
I think specifically for NBA, I mean they're at a very, beneficial place where most games aren't, where they have a very easy way to integrate product placement already by putting it in the background, and like even at the bottom. And even the announcers can be like, don't forget, this game is brought to you by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. And then they can move on or whatever. And like, because honestly, it's jarring without that stuff, because it's a basketball game, and like that, you expect that stuff at a basketball game. You expect the product placement. You expect the announcers to say this stupid shit.
You get the banners at the back of on the back of the court and shit. Yeah.
Like, so you're already making all that money, because they've been doing that in these games forever and ever and ever. Why do you need more? Why do you need more? Like, you've already got these product placements. You're already making the game unplayable by adding all these fucking microtransactions and like cards to unlock players. And like, dude, don't you remember when like sports games were like fun? And it was like, dude, you could like, unlocked Brett Favre, and it was like so exciting, and you're like, I'm gonna put Brett Favre on my team now. And now it's like, I have to collect 5 cards to unlock half of Brett Favre.
Yeah. Well,
I unlocked Brett Favre's jersey. Once I get his pants and his hat, then I've got Brett Favre. It's like, it's so unfun. Hat,
there's only like a 0.002% of Brett
then I
Favre's
can
hat
trade
dropping.
those. I can trade in his jersey and his hat and his pants for credits, and I can use those credits to buy Brett Favre's face. I can put that face on a player. I can sell that player for a different form of credit, where I can actually buy Brett Favre.
It's such
that's seriously not far off from how these fucking games are, man.
Dude, I remember
they're unplayable.
I remember playing Madden NFL 2003 on my Game Boy Advance, and going, wow, this game's so great. No ads or anything. It's just like, you have these little tiny blocky characters, and they move up like real shittily, and like other characters move down and try to stop you, and like that was a fun game. Yeah. And like nothing took you out of it. I feel like this is just a horrible way of doing it.
Well, and like, these are the same guys that made WWE 2K, which is like one of the worst offenders of this shit. First of all, the game is buggy as fuck and doesn't work. And like, half of the charm of like playing a wrestling game is like making your character and like creating a story out of your fucking character, because that's wrestling. You have to unlock every piece of outfit like with in-game credits, and like you can spend real world money to get more credits, and like you don't unlock credits fast enough.
You remember SmackDown versus Raw 2009?
Yes,
where we would just like have everything unlocked.
The whole game was just like, I'm gonna make the most awesome fucking intro.
I'll make a guy whose shoulder blades come up and meet in front of his head when he raises his arms, and he's gonna be wearing like a pink suit and have like a beard and a hat that's funny.
Even in basketball games, I remember making characters and like their arms went down to their feet, and you'd see them like dribble. You didn't have to unlock like a fucking like afro or something. Like it's just there. Tutu or whatever.
Tutu, because why not? But now, I have to be level 683, and I have to spend 2,847 credits to get the tutu, but I can only do it if I'm level 2,847.
Yeah, that shit used to be like, that was part of the game, where like the purpose of the game was to unlock everything. Now that's impossible unless you put in thousands and thousands of hours. But it's like less content than the old games, but it takes longer to unlock everything. Back then it was like for gamey reasons, like it was part of the game. This is not part of the game.
It's like, you want to play a mascot?
This is DLC.
Yeah. You want to play as a mascot? You just got to beat the game with your own custom character, and then you get the mascot. Now it's like, you want to play a mascot? You have to reach the top level. You have to spend $600,000, and you have to, spend even more money. It's just ridiculous.
It is.
It's stupid. Ads shouldn't be in video games. DLC should have some sort of block on it. As for microtransactions, are just fucking stupid. DLC is one thing, microtransactions are another thing.
Agreed.
What do we got next week? What are we looking forward to? Watch Dogs Legions comes out October 29th.
I completely forgot about that game.
We probably won't be talking about it other than maybe the reviews that come out, because there's so much other shit coming out soon, and we won't be playing it.
I don't really plan on buying it.
I might if the reviews are okay, but then again, the PlayStation is 2.5 weeks away. So yeah,
I mean, it might be a game to. It's honestly kind of a smart place to drop the game right before, we've got 2 weeks. Spend 2 weeks just slamming through this game before Cyberpunk comes out. It's not a bad position to be in.
Yeah, it's okay, but then you have the people like me and you who are just like, I can't spend the money. I can't buy a $60 game.
I'm gonna be honest. I probably wouldn't buy Watch Dogs Legion anyway.
Really? I think it looks pretty good.
The first one was disappointing, and the second one was like undermarketed. So like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna wait to see what the reviews say, and even still, I might not even pick it up because it's just so close to everything else.
Yeah.
And then 2 days after that, it's fucking Halloween, and that's it. That's all we got next week.
It's spooky season, boys.
It's spooky season. We'll probably wear makeup and shit next week, and dress up as clowns and ghosts or skeletons or something like that. You gonna do that, Jake?
Maybe.
You gonna dress up for next week's podcast?
Sure. We probably should have done it this week, right?
We should have, but fuck it. I just thought of it.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay. No, because we should have done it this fucking podcast. God damn it.
We should have.
What a missed opportunity. I am sorry for anybody who's made it this far into the episode and just realized the potential that I realized.
I know. We missed out.
God.
Fuck.
Fuck.
We'll get them next year, Nick.
Next year.
Next year, dude.
Absolutely. Do you have anything that we should be looking forward to next week?
I don't
or
know.
You have a question? What is the people's question this week? And it better not be one fucking syllable.
Who? No.
Who?
Just kidding.
Who, guys? Who?
The question is boo, because it's Halloween.
Oh,
No.
Oh.
The question is, here's a good question. Here, it's a Halloween-y question. First of all, what are you doing for Halloween? Let us know. Second of all, what are your guys' like go-to Halloween games? Do you guys have like a go-to like Halloween season game? I'd love to know. I'd love to find out. Resident Evil? I'd say for me, I've been playing Phasmophobia, which has been like pretty good.
Really?
Yeah, it's been pretty good like spooky time Halloween. It's not like a go-to. Like Killing Floor seems like a good like Halloween-y game. I've never been into like horror games, but who knows? Maybe the fans are. What about you? You been into any?
I feel like if I still had PT, that would be the one that I would go to. Other than that, I don't really have a horror game that really stands out to me that I can think of at the top of my head. But I feel like PT would be the one because you can end at any point. There's no real like ending to that game unless you have a microphone and
there is
do all the bullshit. But I feel like you can just stop at any point and go, that was enough for me, and I kind of dig that. That would probably be the one that I would go to if I still had it. Yeah. All right. Watch that's it. That's the end of the episode. Watch our other fucking shows, or rather Jake's other shows, the Jake and Corey podcast. Follow us on Twitter. Jake is at emergencypizza_. I am at fatal_microwave on Twitter. And follow Jake on twitch.tv/lonercast. He has the better internet, so he streams all the time.
Yeah.
Actually, quite a bit recently.
I will be streaming next week, maybe some spooky games like Jedi Fallen Order. That's a pretty scary fucking game.
The spooks. The spooks. I remember Brandon wanted you to play that SCP.
Yeah, I'll probably play that at some point this week.
Okay. Yeah, at least try it out.
Yeah, I'll probably try it out one of these days.
Later on, we got next month. I've got 2 videos coming out next month, and I think Jake's got a couple of things planned. So stick around for that shit. They'll be popping up in your feed, and
don't forget to vote.
To vote. Yeah, don't, because you got 2 weeks to do that shit. Also, subscribe, bell, like, share. Who the fuck cares? That's it. Bye.
Vote for Tim Schafer.
Yeah, that's it. Write him in.